Magnus is here for the kill. We are going to watch the game between Magnus Carlsen and Arjun Erigaisi live in Title Tuesday. It's a very nice chess position. Magnus Carlsen is going to just go for checkmate. Knight takes c5, d takes c5. Let's go and watch the game from the beginning very fastly. The game started with d4, e6. We have knight f3, c5, and Magnus played c3. Bishop to g5. We have Torre attack, c takes d4. And very soon it somehow transposes to semi-Slav defense, and then Magnus develops his pieces. Castle, knight h5, takes on e7 and knight d5. And by this he reached this f4, and now queen f3, g4 is coming. Bishop to d7, queen f3, and knight to e8. And Magnus goes for the attack, g4. We have knight d6, and now queen to h3. He wants to just push with g5, and after knight takes e5, f takes e5 was better, but Magnus took with d, which is a miss. Knight to c4, and now bishop takes c4, and Arjun is back in the game. If he just plays bishop c6 and puts the bishop on the long diagonal, bishop to c6, Magnus takes, and now g6. Now it might backfires, because now Magnus also has a weak king. Let's see, queen to g3, and here it's Arjun to move. Whom do you think will win this game? He can play king h7. Magnus is probably wants to play h4, king h2, h4, h5 first of all, but in some positions the king goes to h2. He plays queen to g5. He doesn't mind if takes because it opens the rook line. It weakens the e5 pawn, but it's nothing for him. Takes. Arjun plays very great. Magnus is 7.5 out of 8, and Arjun is 7 out of 8. So it's a very important game. Rook takes f6, and now black is coming, rook a f8. And engine suggests e5 might break everything in this position. If this bishop become active, I mean, if there is some attacks against this king, Magnus is going to lose this game. It's in a not a very easy position. It's a difficult position for white. In this position, I favor black. I like to play with the black pieces. Maybe queen c7. Yes, this is a plan. Maybe even going for something like queen b4. I know it's too much, but maybe in some position it works. Let's see how Magnus is playing. He has only 2 minutes on the clock. Rook to d4, and it says e5 is crashing. Now you cannot take, because there is a pin here. Now there is a pin, e5. The only move that saves is knight d5. If Magnus saw e5, I mean, he cannot even take it with the queen, because takes, and f1 will be taken with checkmate. So he needs to find knight d5. It's the only move in the position. If he takes on c4, it says queen e6, and the rook, it's very hard to move with the rook, and maybe after that queen comes to h3, maybe rook f5. The position is so much difficult for Magnus, and now he takes on c4. And now even e takes f4 exists. Because if you takes on f4, queen takes e3 check exists. Wow, e4 the only move. Magnus found it. He found it, and now his king is weak, but temporarily he shut down this bishop with this pawn to e4. Nice move e4. Queen to d7, wants to penetrate from here, and maybe also from here. Queen to d8 by Arjun. It allows knight d5. The only drawback it has, it says knight d5, but it's a very rich position for black. I like queen here. Also queen d3 is coming. So very hard. Magnus once didn't found knight d5. At this position he finds it. Now takes, rook d6 is the way. Wow. Black is once again better with queen e7, coming to e3. f3. At any moment white can lose this game, guys. Maybe rook f2. Engine suggests rook e4. And he says, just don't care. But king h1 by Magnus, he just tries to be safe. These days, Title Tuesdays can also bring us so many beautiful games. f2, Arjun is just pushing. He's a direct player. He doesn't just wait. Rook to c2, but sometimes it backfires. Now this pawn is weak. I know that black has... Now if the queen was on d7, rook f5 at any moment would have won the game. This is why queen d8 was not so good. Queen to g2. Now he needs to protect this one. Queen to f4. But now he can take. Or like this. Magnus is back into the game. And we have probably we will have a lot of simplification. He took the pawn. Maybe this f3, f2 idea was not great, but what a game, what a game. Rook takes, maybe takes, queen d5, check, and after that, maybe we will see a draw, maybe not. Because if you take queen d5, queen g2, queen d1, queen g1, white has to accept the draw. There is no other choice. He plays king g1. No, Magnus doesn't want the draw. He just plays for win. Wow. I mean, I thought queen g2 is necessary, but he just plays king g1 and he says, let's play on. Let's play on. And he puts the... Is he playing for win in this position? I mean, queen g2 was just a simple draw. And now queen to g7 is checkmate. And if you take... I don't know how Magnus wants to play, but queen to c2 check. Now time is also a big factor. King back to g1. Maybe queen, yeah, queen c1. Now, can you take here? But then queen takes here. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But engine says Arjun is a little bit better. Arjun is also playing for win. He's not a guy that just plays for draw. Queen h5 check. Maybe takes and then he... If he now takes, there is queen d7 and there is a perpetual. There is a perpetual, yes. Yeah, and it will be perpetual. But, Arjun is playing. Arjun is playing. He should have taken the pawn when the king was on f3. So this perpetual check was not existed. Okay, let's see. Let's see their flagging skills, their time trouble skills. It's anybody's game, but most probably it will end in a draw. Arjun is playing. Arjun has more time on the clock. He has 9 seconds more on the clock. And draw. Okay, threefold repetition. No, none of them, I guess, noticed it. But maybe Magnus noticed it. So threefold repetition is a way to draw the game. You know, first time this position happened, queen on e8, king on g3, and look at these pieces. Pawns doesn't move. So the queen on d4, king on h6, queen on e8, and king on g3. So they move somehow somewhere else. But now the same position happens again. And then here... Once again it happens. So Magnus by king g3 claiming the draw. I mean, not claiming, the website will allow you to do so. So a very nice game, a very nice game. Let's see it from the beginning once again. So Arjun probably wants to prevent some kind of London or other kind of setups with e6, c5. It's a very clever way. And then knight f6. Maybe bishop f4 still London, but Magnus goes for bishop g5 and it transposes to semi-Slav. And now we have, maybe knight h5 was not good and knight d4 is a way to equalize. But now Magnus takes the advantage. g4 very good. Maybe here even g5 was better. But okay, this is also good. And now f takes e5 was the way. And the difference here is that now you can play knight d4. And if he goes here, now knight f6 check. And it's winning because the f line is open. So this is the big difference. If you take here, just e takes f6, queen takes h6, queen g7, pre-move, white wins the game. So this was the right way, but even Magnus Carlsen sometimes misses this idea. And he went for an attack, and Arjun played very good. He just found good moves. He's a very, very dynamic chess player, and he found brilliant ideas. Maybe here queen d7, and the difference was if now knight d5 we take, and if take, now we have rook f5. We are not pinned to the queen. So this is winning. But he played queen d8 and then this f2 also. Maybe here queen d6. This pawn is harder to be taken. But now he pushes it. But now Magnus able to get rid of this pawn. And now Magnus can just play queen g2. And for Arjun, if he plays here, then queen takes b7 check. So maybe he would have accepted the draw. But they are also very low on the clock. And here is the final position, because if here he could have taken here, check, here, check, here, and now queen c8 check doesn't exist because of queen f8, black is going to win. So the king on f3 was a better place for black, but okay, in the game he took it when the king was on g2. So Magnus give check, 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 and Arjun plays queen f8 here, but here it's not check, so he takes on b7, and the game goes on. Maybe he should have moved some pawns, I don't know, in this position. Maybe g5, I mean. If you want to play for win on the clock, if you want to flag, he should have just pushed, and then maybe, yeah, maybe we have perpetual. Maybe he didn't push it because then white can use perpetual check. I don't know, maybe not. But still, most likely the game would have ended in some kind of perpetual. So this is how it happened. So Magnus is 8 out of 9 in Title Tuesday. I guess he will be able to win this tournament. Yeah, now we have even round 10, but I guess it's enough for this video. He's 8 out of 8. We have Maxim, Nihal, and Jan Krzysztof Duda. I don't know if you like this kind of video. If you like, please like the video and write your thoughts about it for me. If it's the case, I will continue to record videos while watching the games and commentate on them. Enjoy chess and life.